Hello guys, welcome to the next tutorial. Today I want to show you how I animate a 3D room with 3D elements. This is not looking perfect, but I want to show you a certain way of animating a 3D room with all the 3D layers. I start with this simple scene and I already masked it in another composition, as you can see here. I had the last frame where the mask was looking the same over a few frames, so I just froze the frame and made one mask and animated by myself because it had only one zoom in and I didn't want to mask the whole scene. There was also one frame at the beginning which was shown very short and I just froze this frame and animated by myself as well, so I had a jump in. And that's all about the mask so far. What we want to add now are 3D elements. I don't mean the effect 3D elements, I mean everything you can add as 3D layer as example, like a new ground or flares or cubes at the background, whatever you want. So this is a mask without the background. So first of all we look for the frame which we're gonna design again. I pick this frame or somewhere here because this frame is the longest or the longest scene. Trying to imagine some things, what we want to add or how we want it to look like. And after we have an idea about it, we can change the opacity of the background. So the animation we want to do is a lot easier. Now I can see both. If I add a new background, I will see it and I see the old background. I can adjust it like the same position as the old background, so it would look very original. I will add a new camera object because if we animate the camera object we will automatically animate every single 3D layer as well at the same time. Then I will add a new background color, just a simple layer we needed to animate the 3D objects. I will take a color which we can easily see behind the old background, maybe something like yellow. I will put it at the background, so only the mask has 100% capacity, the background itself has a lower capacity as we changed it. Now we make it as a 3D layer. Once it is a 3D layer, we can rotate it. I want to replace the ground with a new one, so I take care that the edges fit at least a little bit to the old background. Yeah, playing around with the settings a little bit, adjust it, make it fit. It's not very smart that I extend the size of this layer like this because it's stretching this layer, but we can stretch it back later. Here we can see it's not in the center, but it fits. I think we can work with this. It's just like a template. We are not letting it stay like this. We use it now. So we use it to design this frame. I will put a mark on this frame. So now you can add a lot of stuff right here in this frame and make it look very good. Once you did this here, you go back and then forward and finish the animation. But you don't animate the single layers, you animate the whole camera for the movement, and then you can animate the single layers for making it more realistic. And what we do now is we want to change the ground where he is staying on the top, and I will add some other layer instead of this yellow layer. So we will take this one, adjust it a little bit, and then we will make a new pre-composition out of it. So we have this pre-composition with this single color in it. This is the ground where he's staying on, and we can add some effects like maybe this one. Okay, this is very small, I guess. Let's see. Okay, yeah, as you can see, I like it bigger, so we can make it a little bigger like this. Reminds me of Tokyo Ghoul a little bit. But as you can see as well, this is scratched a little bit. As I said, we can scratch it back. But yeah, this is how it is looking like without the background. Now I'm going to add a new background. I will go into options, clear all, and add a simple flare. Place this behind the character, and now we can see the flare is also behind the black cubes of the ground. So we see it are holes, it's transparent, and we don't want it to be transparent, so we go into the pre-composition of the ground and add a new black color in the background, so it won't be transparent anymore. Just like this. Problem solved, I guess. Making it a little bit brighter. And what we see now is the edges are sharp again, so I want to blur it. Maybe like this, so it looks better now in my opinion. And now I like to stretch it back a little bit, putting it more into place. And now we can open the pre-composition of this ground and edit the actual edges. So we add a mask like this, and we make the character stay on a circle. Sometimes you have problems with adding masks on certain layers which have some effects. So I just did a new black layer and changed the layer style. And now it's looking like this. So it's still very sharp. And what we can do now is we can smooth the edges of this mask. First we find the right position and make it a little bit smaller, because if we smooth the edges it becomes very big, as you can see here. If we lower the brightness of the flare in the background, it looks like this. Pretty good in my opinion, it's not bad. So at this point you can design this frame however you want. You can add a lot of stuff here, you can add other background, you can add 3D layers, typo, whatever you want. As I said, you can animate the camera here. We just take every single keyframe we can put on and start with beginning the keyframes. From now on we need the old background again for the animation, so I make it visible again. So here's our frame which we designed, and we know that if everything is in place, we only need to animate the camera. So we have to make sure everything is in place. I only want to rotate this a little bit more, so it fits to the lines of the ground. I try to make it fit a little bit more. Then we go back and do the next keyframes for the animation. So just to show you, this is a little bit hard to use these settings. At some point you need it, but first you can use this camera here. And I press C on the keyboard so I get the same. Like this I can start adjusting the camera and all the 3D layers at the same time. I add some new keyframes here so it won't fuck up the results after. I will speed this up a little bit. I am adjusting the ground. And now I can say something so that it is not that boring. Blah blah blah. 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 I'm also changing the circle ground with a brush transition, which I froze. So I froze the frame, so it is not moving anymore, like this. Yeah. So I'm speeding this up too. And here we see how I'm adjusting this layer. Here I just don't like how his hand is going out of the ground. Here I'm adding a new 3D layer, just some fire, so to make everything look a little bit better. Adding some blur effect as well, just to make everything look from the same scene. So you can also activate motion blur if it fits. So you can play around with the settings and keep it if you like it. I also added 3D element from Video Copilot and used the text to extrude it and add to the scene. And yeah, so I have a 3D text and I'm blurring it as well here and animating it, of course. Blah 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 blah. Talking a little bit so it is not boring. Animating character and typography. I also add some flare. You can change the 2D option to 3D so it is moving with your animated camera. And if it don't fit, you can animate it as well. You can change the opacity of it. It doesn't look perfect, but we only wanted to animate it. So here we go. We can start making it look better. Thanks for watching and have fun trying this out. Bye, you guys.